It's my pleasure to welcome Orlando City SC as Major League Soccer's 21st expansion team. Yeah!
It's the end of an era. The final USL Pro season.
Takes a shot, and it's a goal! Orlando City!
There's a target on our back, but we've only got one mission: win. 2 goals, a ball, and a culture defined by success.
Make sure we get after the guy, yeah?
Don't think we're just going to overlook this season. After all, we have a title to defend.
From the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex at Walt Disney World Resort, it's USL Pro Soccer 2014. Tonight, the Orlando City Lions host the Charleston Battery. Good evening and welcome everybody to this Orlando City YouTube telecast. Once again, I am Jeff Radcliffe. So glad you're here to join us for this actually fantastic game that we are set for. Tom Traxler joining me as always, and this is the third and final game of a homestand. But if you're ready for that MLS, Orlando City fans, pay attention tonight because you've got a Charleston team that is really looking towards the future. They've got 6 Vancouver players on that roster, very Cascadia feel.
It definitely has a Cascadia feel, Jeff. You mentioned the 6 players that are on loan from Vancouver to the Charleston Battery. But it doesn't stop there. There's more players. There's at least 4 more players that are going to be on between both teams on the pitch tonight that have that connection to Vancouver. So as you say, this one definitely has a Cascadia feel, a feel of the mountains and the big trees of Vancouver.
North of the border, you see some of the players right there. Abdallah, Juf, Farmer, Lewis, Ramirez, Salgado, and of course Orlando City, a couple of former Vancouver Whitecaps themselves, as Corey Herzog and Brad Russin, former players up north of the border. Well, let's take a look at the matchup. This is the second of 3 meetings this season between the 2 rivals. The first, a 1-1 draw in the season opener. There have been some knockdown dragouts in this series, Tom. The Lions lead the all-time series 9-1-2, though.
Well, indeed. You talk about knockdown and dragout. There's been lots and lots of cards in these series. These 2 teams are no doubt rivals. This is a derby game from the word go. Charleston, of course, won the league in 2012. Orlando City wins the league in 2013. They don't like to lose to one another, so this one is going to be good, Jeff.
Yeah, they've represented the last 4 championships in this league. One of the players with a history, Colin Falvey, the center back, missed the first meeting this season because of a red card he picked up, get this, in the USL Pro semifinals against Orlando last year.
Well, imagine that, Jeff. Colin Falvey, the captain of this team. He's the 2013 USL Pro Defender of the Year. Watch this guy like you watch an active volcano, because when things happen, they tend to happen around Colin Falvey.
Hopefully he does not erupt tonight. Austin DeLuz scored a second-half goal against the Battery 3 weeks ago for Orlando, and he will have a big role tonight for the Lions.
Well, he has MLS pedigree. He's a very smart player. Comes from the New York Red Bull. Of course, last season played with the Carolina Railhawks. He's settling in here in Orlando. He's learning his role, but I said he's a smart player. He is a quick study, Jeff. He's already got himself a goal. Scored against who? The Charleston Battery.
Of course. 5 different players, in fact, have scored goals this season for Orlando City. Adrian Heath told us his team will have to put away those chances tonight in order to get 3 points.
Yeah, it is. You know, I think we always say we working on 2 points a game, which is important. If you get, if you average 2 points a game, invariably you win the league. So if we can get a result on Saturday, that'll put us pretty much on track. And the fact that we obviously we travelled up there on the opening day, took a lot of fans with us. It's becoming a bit of a rivalry for us, and the games have always been a bit chippy and been a few sendings offs down the year. So we don't expect anything different tomorrow. A lot of respect for them as a club. They've got good players, and obviously with the Vancouver Whitecaps players, 7 of them they've got. They've added some really good pieces. So we know it's going to be tough, but we've had a good week's work.
Well, a big challenge tonight for Orlando City, but afterwards, the Lions will hit the road for games at FC Dallas and Oklahoma City Energy, but then back home for an I-4 Derby game and then a number of USL Pro fixtures in the month of May.
Well, the expansion team, Oklahoma City Energy, are coming into town. You see the Charlotte Eagles and the return match. We get to see the Charleston Battery again on May 31st, Jeff, and I'm looking forward to the LA Galaxy 2 coming to town on June 28th.
third and possibly final game against Charleston there. Let's pause now for our national anthem. It will be performed tonight by Stephanie Decker. This is Orlando City USL Pro Soccer on YouTube. Supporters are ready to go here at ESPN Wide World of Sports. Moments away from kickoff. Let's look now at the starting 11s for each side. First for the Battery, coached by the newly minted USL Hall of Famer Mike Anhauser.
And he's going to roll his team out, Jeff, in a 4-4-2. Of course, in goal, we're going to look at the main man between the sticks, Odisno Cooper will be there, and up ahead of him you see Colin Falvey. We mentioned him earlier on. He is the captain. Watch Jared Van Schaik. Last week against Richmond had a goal and an assist, and up top the return of Dane Kelly, the fastest man in USL Pro.
For Orlando City, a very familiar 4-2-3-1, familiar lineup for Adrian Heath.
Well, it's not broke. Don't fix it. There's Miguel Gallardo. He will be between the pipes for Orlando. He's looking for his first clean sheet tonight. Tyler Turner is going to get a go in the defense. He got his first assist last week against Rochester. Of course, we talked about Austin Deleuze, very smart player, holding down the left side of Orlando's midfield. And Corey Sonic the Herzog. He wants to get on track. He wants goals in front of his home crowd here in Orlando, Jeff.
Our officials for this match tonight, a very familiar crew to USL Pro fans. Caleb Mendez will be our head referee. He's assisted by Daniel Gutierrez and Alex Darostang. The fourth official along the near touchline will be Julio Noboa. So Orlando City and Charleston getting set. The Battery in the Road Reds. Unfortunately for us, Tom, tonight we do not see the familiar strips of the black and gold verticals that we have come to love or hate, depending on your perspective on this one.
Well, no, I like it. I like tradition, Jeff. I mean, I love to see home team uniforms, and you can't get much more tradition in the USL Pro than the black and yellow stripes of the Charleston Battery. So hopefully one of these days they come here and wear that black and yellow stripe. I hope.
I believe once last season as well. They wore them in the opener. It was a 1-1 draw against Orlando. That was 3 weeks ago. It seemed like a lot longer than that.
It does seem a lot longer than that, Jeff, but it was only 3 weeks ago. But, you know, a lot has changed. You know, when coaches see their teams in the first game, they get about this point, and maybe 4 games in, they go, man, I wish I could go back to that first game and do what I know now. So a lot of changes from then to now, Jeff.
Each team there on the halfway line getting set. You see Dane Kelly and Darwin Sarin. What are the keys tonight for the visitors from Charleston?
Well, if you're Charleston, of course, you're going to want to pay attention to those Orlando players, especially in that midfield. Very talented midfield that likes to knock the ball around. You want to make things very tight, make it uncomfortable for them. For Orlando, watch Dane Kelly, especially if you're Brad Rusin and you're the other center back partner for Brad Rusin, whose name just left me, Jeff. Rob Valentino. This is what happens when you get older, Jeff. This is what happens. This is what you got to look forward to. Rob Valentino. You know, if they don't know where he is when it transitions, that could be trouble because he's probably behind you.
Just underway. First minute, Orlando City in the purple, going from left to right, and now John Wilson, the ageless one, looking to make an overlapping run, wearing number 25. In front of him is Zach Prince, the left mid. Played right mid last week for Coach Anhauser, as Quentin Griffith had picked up a red card in that game against Orlando City, sat out the game against Richmond. He is back now at right mid, and we know all about Quentin Griffith. For those of you who remember the games against Antigua Barracuda FC, he started there for a couple of years before going to Charleston last year.
I'm sure he's happy to be plying his trade now with such a quality club like the Charleston Battery. Of course, it wasn't a very good season last year if you're the Antigua Barracuda.
No longer in the league after not winning a single game or earning a single point So we got some good replacements, though. Some teams this year that are of the expansion variety here in USL Pro. Arizona United play their first game of the season tonight.
This league is a strong league, Jeff. I mean, and then you look at what the LA Galaxy have done. They're not just playing games against USL Pro. They've entered a team in the league.
Herzog crosses there. Deleuze was in the vicinity, but Falvey there to clean it up. And now pushed back to center and slid over the touchline. So it will be a throw now for Charleston. See number 24, Zach Prince there. Tyler Turner with the head. Now Brad Russin, who knows a lot of these Vancouver loanees that are on this team, have been in the same system up there. He and Herzog. So a little friendly reunion for those guys.
There's nothing friendly right now, Jeff. They may give each other a nice handshake and a high five before and maybe after, but right now they are locked in competition. Nothing friendly going on out there right now. And you wouldn't expect so. This is Charleston versus Orlando, Jeff.
This has been perhaps the most interesting rivalry, most intense rivalry, as these are the last 4 championship winners in this league. Although pretty one-sided, as Charleston's only beaten Orlando once. Number of ties in there as well. Looking ahead for the speedy Mamadou Diouf.
Well, you always thought Dane Kelly was quick, and now they've added Mamadou Diouf. So, and he's quick as well. So definitely going to have to be on your toes if you're the back 4 for Orlando City. You've got to constantly be aware of where they are. Even while you've got possession, you need to keep an eye on them, because the minute it transitions, you've got to know where they are. You've got to be positioned well.
Diouf, the Senegalese striker, one of the 6 loanees, the only one in the starting lineup tonight for Coach Anhauser. So free kick Orlando. And will be sprayed right now. And into the 18 and handled by Odisnell Cooper, former Cuban international, in his 2nd season here with Charleston.
We talked about having a very Vancouver, Cascadia kind of feel. It's also got a little bit of a feel of Cuba out there, Jeff, with Odisnell Cooper, with Jordani Alvarez.
Javier Cordovez.
A good ball.
To the right side, and it's too far out in front. And Alvarez will trot back.
Offside.
Too far out in front.
It was a good ball. You had to do something to get to it.
5th minute here at ESPN Wide World of Sports. We see the Teletubby there back in the supporter section as the Iron Lion firm just getting warmed up here.
It's all sorts of fans back there. Teletubbies. I saw the Saw guy back there. I've seen him. Thank goodness I'm here and he's out there. That's all I could say.
As we said, you know, playing in Orlando has been a house of horrors for most USL Pro teams. Very appropriate. And it will be a throw for Charleston here as we just enter our 6th minute.
You know, being that this is out at ESPN's Wide World of Sports at the Walt Disney World Resort, I keep wondering if we're going to see like Goofy or Mickey Mouse or something.
Maybe see something goofy. It's soccer. That's the way it goes. Here's Prince now to take this free kick. It'll be just like a corner now for Charleston. It could lead to their best chance of the game so far.
Yeah, they treat these just like corners, so everybody's set up.
In swinging, seemed to be having a beat into the 6 and then headed out.
So far, both teams trying to settle in. Neither team has really grabbed any kind of momentum in this game or found any sort of rhythm in this game yet. We're looking to see somebody settle down, start stringing some passes together.
Wilson will take things back. Wilson, 36 years old. He has been playing for the Battery on and off since 1999. A couple of MLS stints in there as well. Native of South Carolina, starred at Clemson. Talk about him every year, man. The things he does in the community up there. Notwithstanding. So great individual, great player over the years for Charleston, which are, like Orlando City, a very community-oriented team.
It's important that you're embedded in your community and that you invest in your community. And I know that's something Orlando City is very big on. and they do a lot of good for the community of Orlando. So I'm always happy to hear when clubs do that, and Charleston no different.
Ball will be switched to the right side. Tyler Turner now. Alvarez. I'll dribble and keep it on the left foot, then out to Luke Bowden. Make that Aiden Quinn. There's a high pressure defense being employed by the Battery at the moment. Trying to close Orlando down as soon as they get the ball. Now Luke through to the top of the 18 looking for Herzog, then headed away.
Well, that's the one thing you don't want to give Orlando is a lot of time. They create a lot of possession, but if you give them a lot of time, they're going to make you pay. So it's a good thing that you come out, get stuck into them, get tight, and try and pressure. Make life difficult.
Wilson now directing traffic in front, getting set for this throw in. Second meeting of the season between these two, second of 3. Charleston will come back here again.
I often wonder when they get really excited and have to call John Wilson's name quickly during a game. They, Wilson! If people think it's like the movie Castaway. Wilson!
Should ask him if he's played volleyball during his days as a high school athlete in South Carolina. His 16th professional season. He's got over 285 professional appearances, does Wilson. That is longevity.
Well, playing well into your 30s and you're running in there with guys that are 18 years old and 22 years old, 23 years old. My hat's off to you.
And you're still making runs. You still got speed.
There's one of those 18-year-olds right there, Tyler Turner.
Turner into the box, headed away. Falvey got the head on it.
He got a few pushes and shoves on the way, but he delivered a fine ball into the box, Jeff.
Now looking to play direct. And that won't hurt anybody, as it is encouraged into touch by Luke Bowden. Quinn. Not quite sharp enough to reach Herzog, but it'll be a throw for Orlando.
Good idea. The run was right. The direction of the ball was right. Just want a little bit heavier touch on it.
Herzog shaking his hands a bit. See if there was a collision. Ball into the corner, too far out in front, so Turner can't quite run that fast. He's 18 years old. He's got legs, but when you play on a surface like this, the ball's going to move quick.
You'd have to be Flash Gordon to catch up to that, Jeff.
Throw for Wilson. Comes back to center. Sarin got a foot on it. It's into the 18. Falvey tracks back and gives a right to Cooper.
Well, there's a good look at Corey Herzog and what he does well. He does not give up on anything until it's well in the keeper's hand. I even think Vinny thinks he can get to it.
Battle in the middle of the circle now. Into Kelly, left side. This is Prince. Trots into the 18. Turner is there to mark, and it's sent into the side netting.
Well,
Prince complaining about not having a foul.
Well, he had an awful lot of space and time with which to figure out what to do with it, I can tell you that.
Scores, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLProSoccer.com. In our 11th minute here at ESPN's Wide World of Sports. No score. Lions looking for back-to-back wins. Got 3 points last week here against Rochester after opening the season with 2 straight draws. Battery, same form, really. They've opened the season with 2 draws themselves against Orlando and then Richmond. So they're still looking for their first 3-point affair.
Well, I'll tell you, it seems like every team I'm seeing is opening up with very difficult schedules to start the season with. When you look at Charleston, and they've had to play Orlando in their first game, Richmond in their second game, now Orlando again. That's a challenging start.
Charleston will be hosting New York Red Bull Reserves next Friday, then on the road for 4 straight. Pittsburgh, Rochester, Harrisburg, and Dayton, and those teams are no slouch either. There's really no easy out this year in USL Pro.
No. I said it last year. It was a very entertaining league, a very good league, and it's only gotten better. You know, again, they're adding good franchises like the Oklahoma City Energy. Now they've added the LA Galaxy too, and that's in full. I mean, last year, teams like the Red Bull Reserves, they come in and they play a series of games against USL Pro teams. The LA Galaxy have put their own team in this league. And don't think they can't shuttle players back and forth.
Ball sent out. And now a throw will be upcoming for the Battery.
So essentially, they've put like their reserve team in, Jeff.
Well, they've got enough players, especially drawing from the Southern California area. Now you got Sacramento as well, one of the newcomers this year. Sacramento currently third in the table behind LA Galaxy 2 and Orlando City.
Then
on 4 points.
The renamed Orange County Blues.
Westward expansion now. Herzog has it denied by Cooper.
Big save by Cooper. Read that well, came out, made himself a big target because Corey Herzog timed that perfectly. Great ball delivered behind. He was on it. And Odisnell Cooper had to come out and make himself huge. Quick off his line. He did a very good job there, Jeff.
On the other side, Miguel Gallardo getting his 4th straight start to open the season. You know, in talking with him, he's ready to get a clean sheet under his belt after giving up a single goal in each game.
Yes, and you know, you look at the way they conceded the goal last week, and I know that was very frustrating. Miguel's a fine goalkeeper and works. He has a great work ethic himself, and every goalkeeper wants clean sheets, Jeff. But when you're playing for Orlando City, you kind of expect them.
Especially with the defense in front with Valentino and Russin and Bowden.
Well, not only that, but just the amount of pressure. I mean, the ball is usually in the other half of the pitch most of the time.
And when it's not, Orlando's keeping possession.
Exactly. And then, but when it does come, sometimes it could be a one-on-one. It could be a difficult situation for Miguel to manage sometimes.
Throw down the right side. Orlando got the first touch. Sharon ran on, and now Alvarez, great pass ahead into space and slid away by Charleston. Griffith was mixed up in that one.
Right now, this
no
game.
Throw now.
This game kind of looks at. You ever been to an orchestra, Jeff?
Sure.
Before they actually start playing, and they're all just kind of tuning up their instruments.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that right now.
Waiting for the.
They're waiting for that
first.
click, 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 click. They're waiting for the maestro to step up. This game needs a maestro to step up, Jeff.
Waiting for the first movement.
We need the conductor. We need a symphony orchestra here, Jeff.
The first movement of the symphony. On its way now, perhaps from Charleston. It's drilled into the 18. Now Orlando looks to counter. Held nicely by Alvarez. Will work from the left side, and Luke Bowden. He'll just play it ahead. Herzog, can he run on? No. Falvey steps up.
Ooh.
Oh, and it took a bad angle. Now Herzog is free.
Offside.
And ruled offside.
I almost wanted Darwin Sarin to take that ball himself because it had put Corey Herzog in an offside position, and Darwin Sarin played him. I don't think he knew how offside he was.
Flag came up on the near side. Falvey shaking that one off. The native of Ireland. So back to the supporter section here.
I'm sure if you were watching there in Charleston, you heard one big offside.
Yeah, the supporters, the regiment, I'm sure watching tonight at Molly Darcy's. Glad you're with us. Cheering on the Battery, their beloved Battery.
Indeed.
Of course, they've got one of the finest stadiums in the league, have been for many years, Blackbaud Stadium.
One of the first soccer-specific stadiums, Jeff.
And it's the place to be there in Charleston, especially in the summertime. And afterwards, you can go to the Three Lions Club and have yourself a pint afterwards.
They do a good job. It feels like a real authentic environment when you go to Charleston Battery and Blackbaud Stadium. Again, it's a great organization, Jeff. They do things the right way.
Here's Prince. Leaves it back. Wilson. Excuse me, Joof.
Well, he's singing the song.
He's going to leave a mark.
He's singing in a rather high key right now, Jeff. He took one in the midsection somewhere.
Well, reminder, fans, you can visit the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro. As Tyler Turner will be trending, I'm sure.
Now, I hope that ref didn't go over and ask him if he was okay. Of course you're not okay. You know where he just got hit. Is there any guy in the world to go, yeah, I'm fine, I'll be up in 2? No. That hurt.
So the voice is an octave higher.
Yeah, except he's going, that hurt.
17th minute. Charleston trying to get on the board here. That one into the 18-yard area.
So he's going to think, can you get up? No, I can't get up.
Are you okay? No, I'm not okay.
No, I'm not okay, and I can't get up.
Ball comes out to center, and Falvey will direct it to the left side. His center back pairing is Sean Ferguson again tonight. Ferguson, the younger of the two by 5 years, native of Rock Hill, South Carolina, so local product, College of Charleston. 6'4" to go with Falvey's stocky 6'1".
It's two big fellas back there. Like tall trees, Jeff.
Perfect.
That's at Vancouver Field, tall trees, Whitecap Mountains. See how that works there, Jeff? Tying that into the opening of the broadcast.
Fine, it's a theme.
See how that works?
Very good.
See what we did there?
Again, in case you're just joining us, there are 6 loanees from the MLS Vancouver Whitecaps playing for the Battery. Just one in the lineup at the moment. I'm sure we'll see more as the night moves on. Here's Kevin Molino for Orlando. Gets cut down. And that was Jared Van Schaik putting him to the turf.
Well, he was about to get that ball crossed in. He took a nice little touch around Jared Van Schaik. Quickly got on the other end of it. This corner for Orlando.
Lead to Austin DeLuz, who's got a pretty accurate left foot. Not much room to work with. We'll let it fly. One step, gets into it. In swinging kick, far post. Orlando will look to keep it in. Nicely cleared away by Charleston. Should be an Orlando City throw. Adrian Heath will pop it up to Tyler Turner. Got to move quick as Wilson was right on DeLuz.
Adrian Heath in dress shoes probably has every bit as good or better a touch than any player on the pitch.
Alvarez has some words with Caleb Mendez, our referee. And he will settle things down a bit. Free kick for Orlando. Okay, and now he wants Juve to back up a bit. All right, there we go.
Says, all right, I'm
back
now. I'm back. Okay, go ahead.
He's in left side.
These two teams don't like to lose to one another. These are fun affairs to watch, Jeff.
Taylor Mueller, the big battle with Bods in the corner. Fans, make sure you follow at USL Pro on Twitter for all the latest updates. It's USL Pro, a very social media savvy league now. All sorts of videos online as well.
Everything's going that way, Jeff. You got to keep with the times. The USL Pro's there.
Yeah, if you're not with the times, you're behind. And forcing the issue is Prince and Adrian Heath. A contentious moment there with something.
He was telling the ref about the new ride over at the Fantasyland. The Seven Dwarfs
Fantasyland.
The Seven Dwarfs Mine Ride. Just telling him how great it is.
We are at ESPN Wide World of Sports at Walt Disney World. In the corner, Mueller kicks it out, so it'll be a throw for Orlando City. Taylor Mueller getting the start at right back tonight, native of Sammamish, Washington.
You just have a feeling that everything's starting to simmer, Jeff. You just have a feeling. Ooh.
Sarin comes out of there. He'll put it on target, and it got deflected out for a corner.
Well, he is as slick as a used car salesman, Darwin Sarin. You just saw right there his skill. Got around the player, found himself into some free space. Got that shot that got deflected, but his feet are quick.
DeLuz, take 2 on this corner kick. Second of the night for Orlando City. It is an outswinging kick, far post, and Charleston got ahead on it. And you got to watch out for Dane Kelly. He and Juve have a lot of speed.
No doubt, Jeff.
You know that Charleston will try to play that counter game tonight here on the road.
The thing about Dane Kelly is he's either on or he's off. There's no middle ground to the guy.
This is his first start of the season. He's been injured the first couple of fixtures. There's Ferguson. Up ahead to Prince as Valentino gives chase. Did Prince get the edge? It appears so. So corner kick now for Charleston as we move closer and closer to our 23rd minute.
So Prince is playing in front of the Purple Rain.
Best one of the season. Very nice. No Minnesota teams as of yet in USL Pro, but that would work out very, very well. Prince sends it far post. Boy, dangerous ball. And Charleston will look to retrieve. Coming back out to Prince. Delivery in there. Took a deflection. Player down inside the 18.
Yeah, that
play goes on.
I want to say that caught him in the face. I'm not sure, but he came across and he cracked that pretty hard. And it was definitely headed goalward. Unfortunately, I think it struck Colin Falvey.
He pointed to himself. Yes, that was me. So another corner here for Charleston. Now on our 23rd. Here's Prince. How's that Landon Donovan look to him, doesn't he?
Kind of does.
Far post. A header is right on target, but it's knocked out.
Are you kidding me?
Kevin Molino was on that post and sent it away.
Wow.
That had a beat on the back of the net and didn't go. So nice defense at the last second for Orlando City.
Woo. Well, that was squeaky bum time if you're an Orlando City fan. That got you out of your seat for a second there. And if you're Charleston, same thing. I'm sure everybody's watching the game was out of their seat at that moment.
Players wanted to celebrate, and then
that's why you stay on the line. That's why if you're a defender, you stay on the line. Good focus, good concentration.
Gallardo kicks it away. Best chance of the night for the Battery.
Best chance of the night so far tonight. I told you, this thing's starting to simmer up. You know, it's like boiling water. It took a while, but it's starting to boil up nicely.
Hand fighting with Wilson there and Molino as well. Now they're best buds, right?
This man right there has his hands full. He's going to have to tighten this one up a little bit. He's going to have to, he's got some work to do.
Nice leave off for Prince. Races in. Valentino closes. That shot off the mark and into the supporters.
Well, he did what he had to do. He took his ground aggressively, went for goal, took a strike high to the near post, exactly what you're supposed to do. Unfortunately for him, or fortunately for if you're an Orlando City fan, went a little bit high.
Sixth shot of the night for Charleston as Prince, like Ferguson, a native of South Carolina from Columbia and also started at the College of Charleston. Won 2 championships. He's been with the team since 2010. So a fan favorite, no doubt, at Blackbaud Stadium.
Charleston are definitely in the ascendancy right now, Jeff. They've had a good spell over the last 5 or so minutes.
Mike Anhauser had some words, and now Russin and Prince come together.
Told you. These are testy affairs, Jeff. They produce fireworks and fisticuffs.
I hope not fisticuffs. Well, Nike is a proud sponsor of USL Pro. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information, as it will be a throw for Orlando City's Tyler Turner, the 18-year-old. And now we'll come back. And Alvarez and Prince continuing to jaw a little bit. We're not even a half hour in. It is unusual to see these two teams play each other in this proximity within a month of the opening of the season.
Well, I can't wait for the return leg right now, and this one's not even over. This one's Hatfields and the McCoys. This one's got it all, Jeff.
They will play again here, and somehow in the playoffs they're gonna meet again. There could be as many as 4 meetings this year between these two. Got a derby feel to it.
This one's a soap opera. They should put this one on ABC.
Alvarez. Now Molino gets away from him a bit. will make the switch left side. Here's Luke Bowden. Crosses in. Diving stop by Ferguson. Orlando City retains possession. Quinn. And that one too far out in front for Herzog. Gave it a go, though.
Yeah, got it. Got it off his feet quickly, but it was blocked up into the air. Unfortunately for Corey Herzog, he could not get the touch that crosses that ball over.
Disnell Cooper will kick it away. He'll have the tougher half will be this half for him because his back is to the supporters.
He'll hear a few things that he'll probably chuckle about, I'm quite sure.
Quick throw by Turner. Here's Valentino. Yet to see Orlando City really keep their patented possession.
No, they've struggled so far to keep possession, to put lots of passes together. You haven't seen it. So, you know, credit Charleston right now. They're doing a good job disrupting Orlando. And on the other end, they've created the better end of chances in this game so far. Corey Herzog's worked very hard, but he's had very little to do so far.
Give credit to Coach Anhauser now in his 10th season. As we mentioned in the open, USL Pro Hall of Famer. Now Turner will send it out for a corner kick. Went off of Wilson, so Orlando City will try to strike from a set piece here.
It's about 3-2 in corners, I think, about now, Jeff, if my count is right.
Austin DeLuz, native of San Diego, lets it fly. It's low, the top of the 6. Now Sarin knocks that off of a Charleston player. Dangerous ball is Russin was all the way up from his center back spot. 6'5" target, not bad. Now he's going to have to hustle to get back. And Juve couldn't get the good touch to get it forward. Now Orlando City has numbers. Sarin pulls it back wisely to Aiden Quinn. Spread out right side now. Jordani Alvarez. Working the width. This will open him up a bit. That one sent in the 18. Molino is there. Sarin.
Touch got a little high on him. It's not what he wanted. A good ball, good delivery in by Luke Bowden.
Molino turning in on Wilson. Sarin. Darwin will spread out to Bowden. They close him down quick. Quinn with a little bit of space. Turned by Darwin. Serwin sends it to the far post. It's still alive and then cleared out for a corner by John Wilson.
Wow, well, great job by Darwin Sarin to find the gap in the space in between the Charleston defense there. He was able to get the ball, turn, and square it in for Corey Herzog. Disnell Cooper comes out, just spills it. That was almost big trouble for Charleston.
Corner kick. Darwin Sarin takes a flick-on header, goes back out. Referee is signaling Orlando City throw-in.
So what you're going to see here, there's that ball coming out, just spilled away. I think possibly, you know, you can't anticipate that the goalkeeper is going to hold it. You've got to anticipate the miss. You should be running in every single time. Anticipate the miss. Follow up crosses and shot opportunities.
Tyler Turner throws quickly to Darwin Sarin. Zach Prince very active, box-to-box midfielder. All the way deep defending right now as Quinn makes the switch. And received the pass from Russin. Orlando City will go about the business of breaking down this Charleston Battery defense. We've played just over a half hour, no score between these two USL Pro rivals.
And it's give and take so far in the first half, Jeff. I would say it's even. It's dead even.
This team has had some pretty good spell. Some good run of play so far. Gallardo way out of his box, and he'll distribute to Rob Valentino. We've got 3 of the last 4 defensive players of the year in this league. Of course, Falvey has won it twice, and so is Vet Valentino. So 4 of the last 4. We have the 2 top defenders in the league the last 4 years in this game.
It's funny, they're 2 of the top 4 defenders of both teams predicate themselves on attacking play.
Falvey garnered the honor last year. Just a couple of days after he received a red card as Herzog runs on into the corner, looking for some assistance. Send it back. DeLuz along the left, drills it into the 18. Falvey with the touch. Molina goes back to track. Now Quinn. DeLuz, far post this time, over the top for Turner.
Yeah, he was looking for Tyler Turner coming in. Tyler Turner made a great run into the box, was tracked well. But if that's going to score, that ball almost has to be pinpoint perfect. But Austin DeLuz, very smart player. You see what we talked about at the South broadcast. Sees the game very, very well.
Disnell Cooper starting for the 3rd straight game. He was the main keeper a year ago. So far this season, 2 games played, 3 goals allowed, so a goals against average of 1.5. He's made 6 saves coming into this match. We're hand fighting now between Wilson and Molino. Unable to keep it on his foot, no. Was Joof.
That's not
now
bad
Herzog
ball.
has some space here. Waits for assistance, or will he take it himself? Now Sarin. Inside the box, hands go up.
Sarin was going to try and slither in between those 2 Charleston defenders.
Lions retain possession. Alvarez will touch it back to Valentino. Rob scoping things out. Here's Aiden Quinn. Charleston's been very adept at closing down the flank attacks Orlando City is known for. Would you agree there, Tom?
They've worked very hard. They've taken away those areas very nicely. They sit deeply in those areas. They know where Orlando want to attack, and they've sat players in there to deny those spaces.
Lions trying to attack the middle now. Here's Molino, the Trinidad and Tobago international. Sarin runs on. Cooper out and handled it no problem.
Well, that's good. What you're seeing there is a little change up. You're seeing Darwin Sarin start to get some of those through balls coming through. And I think that's what Orlando's going to need, some interchange. A bit of change from what you see. Let's try and get more players behind their defense. Their 3 midfielders tend to play in front of their 4 defenders. I like to sometimes see them getting some runs in behind.
Making a run into space, Charleston. Prince plays into the corner. Dane Kelly can do with it. Sends it into the box. And diving save made by Miguel Gallardo.
Of the flying Gallardos.
The famous family from Torreon, Mexico.
No, he's a very athletic man. Of course, he used his athleticism there to come across and snare that one.
Darwin Sarin now pokes it right through. A little nutmeg on that one. And Falvey comes out to clear it away.
Like I said,
big challenge. Falvey goes down, and Giordani pinpoint accuracy on taking that ball away. Leaving it into the corner, and that will be slid out for a corner kick.
Darwin Sarin causing trouble. Those quick feet of his.
5th corner of the match for the Lions upcoming. Of course, they scored on a corner against Charleston in the opener. Austin DeLuz finishing up a ball that was bouncing through the 18.
Some big fellas in there. Brad Rusin, Ferguson. Some big boys in that box.
As you focus on the big guys, it's the little guys that fall in. That shot looked like it was headed into that net, but it was off to the left, off of a Charleston player, so we'll redo things. Short corner now taken by Orlando City. Ball delivered in front. Cooper was there. He goes down to the box, and a foul was committed by someone.
Yes, indeed. They took a quick corner, got it played across, and was that Rob Valentino there with the Disnell Cooper coming together? A little meeting in the box, in the 6-yard box. Quite possibly. But Additional Cooper was able to get himself out, get his paw on that one, punch that one clear. So good job handling that one.
It all comes down now to a goal kick. That's the common denominator after that flurry of play. Near touchline. Orlando City throw. Or not?
Not. I think it's changing over to Charleston. It's going to be Wilson.
Mike Anhauser off the bench rather quickly. He can still move. He was a heck of a player, by the way. Mike Anhauser for Charleston. Back in '96, won a championship. Former player at Indiana University, won a national title with the Hoosiers as a player. Playing career came to an end with an ACL injury, which is certainly unfortunate. But what was fortunate for Charleston, he joined the coaching staff after that. And the rest has been history.
Well, he's done a fantastic job with this franchise. You know, always there or thereabouts, winning championships.
Bod's nice win. Send it to the top. Just can't find a purple jersey.
Look at that.
Beat his man again, Griffith.
Twinkle Toes Bowden over there. Taking people on and beating them. Griffith
unable to answer that challenge. He's had a pretty checkered history with Orlando City, dating back to his days with Antigua. He got an ejection back in 2011, Orlando's first season, in a game at the Citrus Bowl. A huge brawl. I'm sure a lot of Orlando City fans remember that, where 11, close to 11 players plus coaches were ejected on that one.
I remember the amount of time wasting that was going on in that game. Incredible.
And Antigua actually won that game. I think it was the only game Orlando had lost that opening season at the Citrus Bowl.
You were right.
But Griffith was one of those ejected. And then got picked up a red in the 89th in our opener this year. I believe it was a hard foul on Adama Mbenge with just a minute to play in the game. Then he had to sit last week. And now a player down for Charleston.
This is definitely a hard-fought affair, Jeff. There's going to be a trainer coming on to attend here.
Take a closer look.
Watch me come up. Oh, bang. Catches the backside of Darwin Sarin right in his kisser. So Sanyang.
Yeah, Amadou Sanyang, the native of Gambia, the former national teamer of that country. He is still down after taking a big knock there. Reminder, every USL Pro regular season and playoff game will stream live on YouTube in 2014. Your features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity. Subscribe for free to the Orlando City SC YouTube channel today. Or the Charleston Battery YouTube channel. Whatever works.
Subscribe to one of those USL Pro YouTube channels.
Sanyang is up. Amadou spent some time in the Toronto FC Youth Academy.
That's a club
played for TFC and for Seattle before they were in MLS.
Club with a big turnaround this season, Toronto.
No kidding. Well, spending money will do that. They've certainly played well too. Lived up the hype so far.
This one has just been back and forth, Jeff. A little momentum here, a little momentum there, some chances here, some chances there. We'll sprinkle in some corner kicks.
Boy, Tyler Turner really having to work hard tonight. Boy, nice move by Prince, who cut it along the end line. Wow. And another collision inside the 6. Player down for Charleston. Play continues. And we'll probably want to kick it out here, and that will go out for a throw by Charleston as we'll tend to the injured player.
He cut that one on a dime.
And then gave Tyler Turner 9 cents change.
Yes, he did.
So now down is Mamadou Diouf, the one Vancouver loanee in the starting lineup tonight for Coach Anhauser.
Sure what happened there.
Played for the University of Connecticut just last year, drafted it in the second round of the MLS, and now he's down on the pitch.
Good look at.
Also scored the goal against Orlando City in the opener.
Yes, he did. It's a good look at Luke Bowden right there, number 14 for Orlando City. One of the leading scorers this year, scored an absolute hammer of a strike scored on that hammer strike against Pittsburgh in the home opener.
The hammer of Thor.
The hammer of Thor.
Great Odin's Raven, he scored. After not scoring a goal all of last year. And guys like Dom Dwyer would give him heck on Twitter because of that.
Well, he made up for it there.
Yeah, he drilled it.
Is that some Stoke City fans sitting in the audience?
We do. Stoke trying to finish in the top half of the EPL table for the first time ever this year. Boy, a redirect shot needs to be cleared out. It is. Valentino, nice and calm, pushed it out. Now Orlando City will look to counter as they bring numbers forward. 3 minutes away from halftime here, opening half. No score.
That's the second time they've gotten really good headers at the far post. Something I'm sure Coach Adrian Heath is gonna address come halftime. Sorting out that
Turner
marking.
can't quite get there. It is on the way. Yeah, just off.
Almost.
Good effort.
Yeah, he didn't give
another
up.
step. He would have been fine.
Yeah, he didn't give up on it. Almost got there. And he was able to direct a fine ball cross line. Nice young man. Very, very polite young man, Tyler Turner. Very good young man. He's settling in well. He's certainly technically very good and calm. I mean, he's 18 years old and he's handling, his first season in the USL Pro as if he's been here for 5 years.
Most recent captain for the U.S. U17 national team. He's really shown that he's very comfortable on the ball for an 18-year-old. He is signed through the MLS. As Odisnell Cooper will send it away. He has survived so far here in this opening half with the supporter sections at his back.
And they're one of the more unforgiving supporter sections anywhere in American professional soccer.
They'll ask you, what do we have to forgive anybody for?
They don't. But I'm just
no
telling you,
apologies necessary.
If you're not familiar with the Iron Lion Firm and the Ruckus and the 407, they will definitely let you know they're there. I cannot tell you what they will say to that goalkeeper, but it is very memorable.
And probably not G-rated.
Definitely.
There's a nice offering inside the 18. And now cleared away by Charleston. Trying to push numbers forward. It will be a throw to Orlando. Preliminary word, we'll have 2 minutes of stoppage time tacked on to this first half. So we're now in our 45th minute.
I might have thought a little bit more, actually, Jeff, given that we've had a couple injuries. I mean, we've had no goals, no substitutions. We have had a couple injuries, and the players were down for a little bit of time. So I'm kind of surprised that we don't have at least another minute or two.
In the center of the park. Orlando City trying to get a handle on things. Maybe steal a goal here as we go into halftime. Here's Bowden. Lost his handle just a bit. And now wide they look for Turner, and it's taken away. And now those 2 minutes are official as we hear PA announcer Dave Ziemba make the announcement to the crowd here at ESPN Wide World of Sports. Turner with the offering in the box, slides just off to the left, and Herzog just missed his first goal of the season.
What a nice combination of play. Now that's starting to get on that symphony page that I was talking about. It was a great ball played wide for Tyler Turner to one touch. Tyler Turner plays it with one touch across the box, and Corey Sonic the Herzog comes sliding in just barely missing to redirect that one into the net.
But in the end for Herzog, a bittersweet symphony that time.
It was a bittersweet symphony. It was more like that Megadeth symphony of destruction.
Oh, brother. Into stoppage time here in our opening half. No score. This is shaping up to be just like the first meeting of the season. 0-0 at the break, and then things got interesting in the second half. So I would imagine the same thing happens here. They look to spring Herzog again. This time runs on, gets a shot off, and it is way over the supporters section.
Hits it good and quick. Unfortunately, he caught a little Christopher Cross on him. It went sailing.
About 45 seconds remaining this one. Cooper will take his time. Here's the header by Quinn. Certain to see some adjustments here by each side in the second half. Probably spring a goal.
Well,
certainly a stalemate in this one.
You keep banging on the door, eventually you're going to knock the thing down. So something's going to happen in this game because these two teams are going at it. It's been a little back and forth. Orlando City's probably edged it in terms of chances and in terms of possession. But Charleston have probably had two of the more clear-cut chances in this game. Of course, one of them being cleared off the line.
There's our whistle from referee Caleb Mendez, and we are at the half. No score between Orlando City and the Charleston Battery. We'll take this timeout. Be back with you in about 10 minutes. We'll have stats for you right here on YouTube. Right now, let's take a look at how things are shaping up, and it is a stalemate, but shots on goal to Orlando right now.
Well, I said, we talked about Orlando probably edging it in terms of possession and shots, and there it is. 15 shots for Orlando, 7 for Charleston, 7 of them on goal. Corners 6-3 for Orlando. Fouls, 7 fouls so far, 4-3 for Orlando. So these two teams are very committed, Jeff. This is a very committed affair. But Orlando edging it in terms of possession shots, but Charleston probably edging it in terms of quality chances on frame with that one cleared off the line.
Well, Tom, it all adds up to a 0-0 halftime result. We'll come back for the second half in about 10 to 12 minutes. You're watching Orlando City Soccer and USL Pro Soccer on YouTube. ESPN Wide World of Sports. 0-0 between Orlando City and Charleston as we get set for second half action. We were talking at halftime, Tom, very disjointed game, not much of a rhythm on either side. Kind of tough one to call, tough one to watch. What changes do you expect here in the second?
Well, I haven't seen any of the team changes. Well, here comes a change right now as we talk about. So we're going to see the introduction
Dante Marini for the Charleston Battery. I think they're going to want a lot more possession. They're going to want to settle it down. Each team's going to want to find their rhythm. For Orlando City, get the ball down. Find your midfielders. 1-2 touch passing. Keep it crisp. Get that ball wide. Get it crossed in. That's what you're going to want to see. If you're Charleston, you got to get Dane Kelly involved more. He's kind of been MIA in this game. So let's find a way to get the USL Pro's fastest guy involved in this contest. He's got the Jets, that's for sure. And if you want to play in direct fashion or on a counter, he's the guy that could maybe steal 3 points for your side.
And having said that, let's a player that I thought's played pretty well for Charleston so far, and that would be number 24, Mr. Prince.
Yeah, he's been very, very impressive.
Yeah, he so far has been extremely impressive. I would get the ball into his feet a lot more often.
Saw him in that last tie against Richmond that Charleston played. He was on the right because Griffith was out serving a red card suspension. So very, very versatile player for Coach Anhauser. As we get set to switch sides, Orlando there in the purple kits will be going from right to left, and Charleston in the red. They break the huddle. See Falvey with some instructions to Ferguson. The two center backs have kept a clean sheet in front of Additional Cooper so far. So glad you're with us here on YouTube. Jeff Radcliffe, Tom Traxler, and our entire ESPN crew bringing you the action. Caleb Mendez signals the start, and Orlando City will kick off. Molino out of Herzog. Hard to miss with the bright orange boots.
They match his vibrant personality there.
Bowden with the delivery, looking to go over the top. Nice header by Sean Ferguson. See what adjustments Coach Heath made to his Lions lineup.
I don't think he'll make many. Just he'll say let's get on the ball more. I could probably hear him say just get on the ball more. Get this thing moving. 1 and 2 touch.
Spray it out left to Wilson. And player down, so it'll be free kick coming up for the Battery.
I'm sure both coaches will be urging their teams to try and get into the rhythm of this, because it's been very stop-start, very static, no fluidity.
Third game of the season for Charleston, and I'm sure they've got 2 ties leading in. I think if they get another one, that won't necessarily be a bad result for Coach Anhauser. You can come here and steal a point.
Well, if you can get points away to the current champions, that's always a good thing. That's because it's never easy to go to the home of a champion and get points.
Valentino takes out the corner flag.
It's such a hard-hitting affair, even the corner flags aren't.
They're taking a beating. This will be a dangerous spot now for Orlando City's back line. As Prince gets set to throw, let's see what kind of Rory DeLapp skills he has. Good one inside the 18. Runs out to the top. Now Orlando City trying to break out. Held in by Charleston. Nice run being made by Taylor Mueller. And it's turned over. Good closing speed shown by Charleston.
Calling for a foul on Herzog. Top of your screen, just out of the shot. There was a bad foul. Yeah, Herzog was headed toward goal, taken down.
Herzog is hurt at the moment. Austin DeLuz looking for an explanation.
He must have heard something from a player, because the player's still down writhing and the referee's saying no trainers, no trainers. So unless Corey Herzog said no, I'm fine, he didn't look fine. But he's
holding
up.
His jaw. He was planning on having that professionally rearranged after the match anyway. Saves him a couple of dollars at the physician's office. Seems to be okay. Corey Herzog, not a hedgehog, a bulldog. Really plays all out.
He does. He doesn't stop running. He doesn't stop moving. There's not a ball that he doesn't think he can't win.
Wayne Rooney type of player. Although Wayne hasn't had the best of seasons for Man U, neither has Man U.
Definitely been tough times for the red side of Manchester of late.
Mueller. Turner tries to step up, cannot collect the ball. That one back, and the disjointed play continues. Nobody really keeps possession.
I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if Zach Prince escapes. I was about to say, I'd be surprised if he escapes a card here. The referee, you could feel it starting to bubble over and starting to get out of control. You could feel that in the first half. The referee's going to have to start reaching into his pocket to get control of this.
49th minute, Zach Prince, the first booking of the night on either team. And what's been a very physical game, and I guess Caleb Mendes has had enough.
Well, it wasn't intentionally dirty. He just turned to play the ball away, but it was late. So in that respect, it warranted the card.
Alvarez started things off. Now Orlando City will build from the back. The switch is made to Russin.
Good switch.
Big switch, headed back. Battery playing some high pressure defense. Once that ball's in the midfield, they chase. And are right on you. Not much time to work.
Definitely pressurizing very well so far the midfield, because Orlando's had a hard time finding rhythm.
There's a turn by Molino.
They've been in the Charleston end quite a bit, but very static. Very few passes broken up,
Quinn. And that pass didn't have enough pace on it to get to Luke Bowden. Quentin Griffith will head it into touch. Throw in for Orlando City. Russin will go retrieve the ball.
Haven't seen very many shots on goal so far this game, Jeff. Interesting.
None better than the Charleston header that appeared to be destined for the back of the net until Molino with his head cleared it off the line at the very last possible second. That happened early in the game. Took a look at the replay at halftime, and it appeared it was right on that line.
Yeah.
But don't have that goal line technology employed in USL Pro as of yet.
Referee assistant appeared to have it spot on. As we looked at it and had it frozen, it appeared to be right on the line.
Ball has to go over the line for it to be a goal. So you have to give Molino, if things hold, he'll be the MVP of the game for keeping that ball out.
Well, he'll certainly be Miguel Gallardo's MVP.
Absolutely.
But that's what
right
you do.
On that post.
Hey, if your job is to cover the keeper, he was there, he focused, he covered the keeper, he did his job.
Russin distributes left to Bowden. Alvarez. Spent the last 2 seasons at Real Salt Lake. That one too far for Luke Bowden. And he'll concede the throw in for Charleston. Battery still looking for their first win of the season. 2 games, 2 draws against 2 very good teams. The regular season and the playoff champions, and collision there between Valentino.
Well,
player down for Charleston.
The referee's assistant and the center official thought that was, I guess, a shoulder charge.
He and Wilson come together, and Wilson got the short end of that one. Now Charleston players run into each other. It's kind of a scramble drill almost.
I mean, I could just see this one spilling into the craziness.
Flag is up.
You see the challenge at the other end, and that goes for nothing in the referee's book. But players will know that, and they'll want to take matters into their own hands eventually. And that's when things start to turn into one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Fans can check out scores, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLProSoccer.com. You will not find literary works like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest there, however. But everything else related to USL Pro there. Nicely maintained website. From the broadcasting perspective, anything you need historically in this league, it's there. And now a player down for Charleston. And Orlando City will concede the free kick after Griffith gets up.
Saying I just bumped into him.
Mamadou Diouf.
Bad Rusin's a big man. If he just bumps into you, you're probably going to feel it.
Going to be bumped into next week. So now at a dangerous spot will be a free kick for the Charleston Battery, as Jared Van Schaik scored against Richmond. Will approach with the left foot. The central midfielder lets it fly, curls into the far post, and did not curl enough, however.
Well, he had some English on that one for sure. That one had a nice bend on it, but it just gets a little too quick. A little too quick for the pack that was chasing that. Goes innocuously over the line for a goal kick.
They look for Kelly. Orlando City will retrieve. It'll be a kick right here for Alvarez. It's run by Griffith. The water bug is just all over Bowden.
Where's that one? The water bug?
Little scissor kick by Falvey.
The water bug? I've never heard of that one.
You know, like little water skeeters that just move really fast.
Okay. Is that his nickname?
Can be.
I think it is.
Just all over, moves quick.
I agree with you.
Just skates like it's easy.
Well, you're a historian. You'll forget more about things than most people know in terms of USL Pro. So when you say water bug, I'm like, he's pulled out something else from the history books.
The supporters for Orlando City certainly have a nickname for him. He was again one of the ones ejected in that brawl match in 2011. Gestures and all sorts of things were being rained down from the supporter sections at the Citrus Bowl that very first season.
It's all in love. It's all in love.
I'll tell you what, that game was a catalyst to what happened at the tail end of that season. That was the only loss at home, and from that point forward, Orlando really looked to be the better team in the league the rest of the way, and they rode that to their first championship. It kind of brought the team together. I remember Valentino and Jamie Watson both saw time out as far as suspensions because of that one, and now we've got
here's a change.
Our first appearance from Brian Spann, the FC Dallas loanee. He comes in for Aiden Quinn, it appears. So first change for Orlando City comes in the 57th minute.
Yeah, it's our first season appearance, first chance of fans in Orlando are going to get to take a look at Brian Spann, the Dallas loan player, who's also played a little bit in Sweden. Here we go.
Well, things getting tested.
Here we go.
As we have a discussion, and now Rob Valentino wearing that captain's armband, encouraging Charleston's players to back off. No love lost between these two.
Rustin and Diouf getting into it. Like I said, center official has his hands full tonight. He's earning his pay tonight.
Valentino will spray it left. Brian Spann chatted with that young man last week at training. Very happy to be in Orlando's camp and seeing some playing time tonight for Orlando City. He was acquired by Dallas in January in the MLS lottery. After playing 2 seasons in Sweden, he started at the University of Virginia, graduated in 2011. So just 22 years old, seeing action here in USL Pro for the first time.
Well, it's always good to be playing if you're a player. I mean, that's what you want. Whether you're playing in the MLS or USL Pro, and USL Pro, as you said before, great league. I mean, it certainly didn't do Dom Dwyer any harm.
One of 4 Sporting Kansas City loanees last year, Dom Dwyer led the league in scoring. Co-leader with Angulo of Pittsburgh. Alvarez all over to the left side. Griffith closes in. Bowden has been held in check for the most part. Not let him advance. Seen a lot of attacking from Orlando right down the middle.
Charge.
Herzog charging himself into the 18. Along the byline. See hands in the air of the supporters, and it will be a goal kick, unfortunately for them, for the Charleston Battery.
Well, Herzog trying to shield it off, but you look at Ferguson. That's a big fella behind him, and coming together. Herzog not quite able to hold off Sean Ferguson, but he's thinking, "Hey, I'm being fouled. I have a right to my ground." So that's why his hands go up in the air.
Make sure you visit the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro. Hit like, of course. Coming up on an hour played in this one. Still no score between these two familiar rivals. Griffith is dispossessed, pushed ahead. As Deleuze and Bowden will send it back to Gallardo. All lanes are covered, and Miguel will take his time with this.
We had Charleston coming out definitely and applying more high pressure. You see them coming in, pressuring well inside Orlando's half.
Coming up on that 61st minute, we are in that portion of the match. We'll start seeing these subs. Can report that Dennis Chin and Adama Mbenge getting set to check in, as they have about this portion of the match in the first 3 of the season so far. So Austin Deleuze and Corey Herzog will come off the next dead ball. See a look at our 4th official, Julio Noboa, rolling the touchline. And now they've been announced to the crowd, and Corey Herzog, another fantastic shift, but nothing to show for it.
Well, he works really hard. He works really, really hard. So those defenders have know they've put in a shift, and now you're going to have Dennis Chin coming in to run at you, who, if Dane Kelly's the league's fastest man, Dennis Chin's the 2nd fastest man.
And Adama not too far behind that. So we'll match the speed quotient a little bit.
And Adama, who can absolutely sledgehammer a ball. If he catches hold of it, that thing could wind up in the Magic Kingdom.
You're saying his nickname is Peter Gabriel.
That's it, man.
There's Griffith in the center of the park now. Comes back right to Taylor Mueller. And Falvey work together as Adama Mbenge closes in. He'll get a touch now. Senegalese midfielder working on that left side now. Molino keeps it on his foot, pushes it through. Darwin Sarin, number 17, into the box, goes down.
Nope.
It was after the ball. It left his feet. He got pushed down.
Wants a foul. Referee's not going to give him that.
Right side comes the attack, and not the best of efforts there.
So is he coming in here? Darwin Sarin, he's going to try and get the ball.
Oh, excuse me, that wasn't Sarin. That was Brian Spann.
Sorry, Brian Spann does a good. You're right, Brian Spann. They kind of similar sort of hairdo. Brian Spann does do a good job, but it was a good tackle. To be fair, I mean, it was slide from behind, but he won the ball. So good tackle, good decision by the official not to.
Mbenge sends the corner through. Spann, again, 6'2", can do some battle here. And Mbenge sends it into the 6, and covering quickly was Adisnell Cooper.
Well, you could probably hear Adrian Heath going, "Get across the keeper, get across the keeper." And that's what Dennis Chin was trying to do there. Get across the keeper on those balls.
Sarin playing a little further back now. That allows Spann to go forward some. So Darwin now in that middle of the park. Nice one touch. Trying to spring Dennis Chin was Adama Mbenge. Don't get caught with too many numbers forward at this point. Here's the speedy Quentin Griffith. Trying to get the corner on Russin, unable to do so. Gallardo way out of his box, will have to clear with his feet and will send it out of trouble.
Wow. All right, Miguel Gallardo. He says, hey, I want to put a purple shirt on.
And now they break. And offside. Ran a little too fast there. No, a foul committed ahead of time.
Yes, I think he's going to call a foul. And Dennis Chin's going, no, I was in. Don't make that call. Miguel Gallardo showing off his foot skill. He's actually not a bad player with his feet, Jeff. Right there, he would have had a cause to put on a purple shirt.
Bowden into the far part of the box. And that one high in the air and drilled up the line. Race to the ball, another collision.
Seen a lot more urgency in Orlando City's play since those 2 substitutions have come on. Almost seems like a gear has changed.
We talked with Adrian Heath at training on Friday and asked him how important are 3 points here. You got a road trip coming up. You want to take care of things at home. Certainly very important. He will always say we want to get 4 points from every 2 games.
Yep.
If we do that, we win the league. And right now we're right on pace.
That is the method. I'm sure he wouldn't. I'm sure he wouldn't turn down 6 points from every 2 games.
No, not at all. Orlando City has played 3 games. They're on 5 points. Make sure you follow @USL Pro on Twitter for all the latest updates on USL Pro. Nicholas Murray and the gang are constantly on that. Back at the league office. In our 66th minute now. Boy, ball got through. Opportunity for Orlando City coming through to the top of the key. Dennis Chin can't keep it on his feet.
He was trying to get in there, wasn't he, Jeff? Might have had a little opening. The ball just wouldn't cooperate.
Really nice build up that time. And if you're a battery's defense, you've got at that point now you're getting tired of it. Bowden ahead to Mbenge, tries to get the edge on Falvey. Falvey plays a nice defense, closes him down. Ball inside the 6. Mbenge turns it back and goes off the post. Holy cow.
Well, O'Disnell Cooper, get up and go kiss that post. Because it just saved you. Watch this ball come in. Catch the rebound.
Oh, Alvarez turns. No, that was Molino, excuse me.
Molino turns. I'll take your word for it. Molino turns and hits the post.
Molino looking for his 2nd goal of the season.
Like I said, Orlando City, since the substitutions, has been all over this one.
Sarin.
A whole different urgency change in Orlando City.
To deliver the corner. Far post. And it's over everybody. And goal kick for Charleston.
That was a little 20,000 leagues under the sea, Jeff. It went deep. Since we're in the land of
That's right.
Walt Disney World. I will use Walt Disney World references, thank you.
See our 4th official putting up the sign, and now coming in for Mamadou Diouf will be Javier Cordovez. So 1 player scored against Orlando this season. Diouf checks out, and Cordovez, who scored a goal against Orlando last season, checks in. Native of Havana, Cuba.
And then comes another native of Havana, Cuba. Michael Chang.
2 teams that defected together at a World Cup qualifier in Canada back in 2012. They were playing Canada in Toronto when it happened. And it both found their way into Mike Anhauser's lineup.
The ball's in. Oh, really? Okay.
Throw into Charleston.
As we see that ball finally comes to its stop.
Still on the pitch. Mbenge wearing number 8. Try to split the defenders. Looking for Dennis Chin. Now Mbenge runs on.
That ball,
Wilson was right there defensively, though.
That ball had been to school, Jeff. It was educated.
Alvarez. Now Sarin. Trying to play the 1-2. Here's Adama. Sends it. He's looking for Chin. Got a touch. Bounced back out. Orlando will hold it into the attacking third. Span sends it out wide. Will run on here into the corner. Brian Span. Coming back to Turner. Drilled it into the box. And handled by Ferguson. Turner will reload. Play it back as Orlando looks to switch the point. Keep trying those edges. Nice turn made by Bowden. That was by Sarin, speculative, and didn't get there.
Wilson came in to clear out that Bowden cross very, very nicely. You just see this whole game has kind of caught fire a little bit since the introduction of substitutions. The substitutes have come in. And I don't know if it's necessarily them that's energized this game, but it has a whole different feel to it than it did in the first half right now.
Sometimes it has the opposite effect, but not tonight. Nike is a proud sponsor of USL Pro Fans. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. And way out of his box was Cooper. Just made sure that no Orlando City player got to him. The Lions will throw now. 70 minutes played in this one. Nothing has been decided so far.
I have a hard time believing this game's going to end up 0-0, Jeff. I often wonder if it's going to end up with all 22 players on the pitch.
That one sent across. Chin didn't get it quite where he wanted it. See Orlando starting to wrestle possession away. You hear Adrian yelling to Chinny.
He's going to be up giving those instructions for sure.
Tell you what, the microphones we have here at our disposal at ESPN Wide World of Sports just pick up everything. Maybe some things we don't want to hear.
That could be,
but it certainly adds some color to the broadcast this year.
It's definitely a good thing, and sometimes it could be a bad thing.
When we're at the Citrus Bowl, it's a cavern, and it's just a general loud noise from the supporter sections. You hear the chanting, but now we're hearing the game on. It's such an intimate environment here.
It is. The fans are a lot closer than what they were in the Citrus Bowl. They're almost on top of you if you're the players.
Very European feel. Now Turner has Span on the right, trying to work an overlap. Sarin sends it in. Now out left. Bowden in a good spot. Drills it into the center. Falvey got a touch.
Don't think he got that one quite where he wanted to. It was a lovely ball played wide, though, by Adama and Mbenge.
Falvey and Mueller playing lockdown defense here so far. Back line also Ferguson and Wilson. Keeping the clean sheet so far in front of Odisnell Cooper. There's a shot to the outside. That cross off target.
Somebody's got to get in there and challenge those.
Got to be careful of a counter at this point. 73rd minute. Here comes Charleston on the attack. They work to the left side. Valentino gives chase, and it will be a corner kick for Charleston.
Nope.
Or not. No. Quickly distributed by
Miguel's not giving him time to change his mind. They want to get this ball moving. You want to get it moving quicker if you're Orlando.
Sarin. And Alvarez do the 1-2. Now Bowden as Mueller closes in. Adama In the middle as Chin catches it and scores it.
There it is.
Is it Brian Spann with his first goal for Orlando City?
Well, you see Brian Spann, the ball slithers around in the box, finds his feet, and he strikes like a cobra.
Well, in the span of 10 minutes played, Brian Spann scores a goal, and perhaps it's the game winner.
There he is. He gets the ball settled onto his feet, drives it right in the net.
The defenders for Charleston closed in on Chin.
See that ball to make its way under several people's legs, so it slithered its way to him, and he struck it.
Went right by Chin and Molino, went to the foot of Spann, calmly put it away, and Orlando now has the lead.
In the 73rd minute of play.
And that's a way to get yourself familiarized with those fans.
Sixth goal of the season for Orlando City, sixth different player to score.
Well, you kind of like that. Your goals are coming from all sorts of places.
The loanee from FC Dallas. Could he be the hero tonight? It appears so far, but we've still got another 15 minutes and change to go.
Well, I think there's still some more drama to be written in this one, Jeff. You're going to get Charleston coming out with a bit more urgency, I would expect, after going a goal down. Now they're going to open up. They're going to come out. They're going to have to come out and try and get a goal. You got about 15 minutes left.
Sarin. You won't see Orlando sit on a lead. That's not like them. They'll play possession. They'll certainly do that.
They like to keep the ball, but they like to pressure you in your end.
Dennis way back.
It's certainly woken up the fans, Jeff. You can hear them getting louder and louder.
Want to walk out here victorious. It's our 75th minute. Time to vote on your man of the match. Use the Orlando City Game Day app and vote on the Orlando City man of the match. Could be Brian Spann tonight, and it'll be a throw for Charleston, as that one got a little chippy.
Tyler Turner might be picking up a card here. Good sport, because I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. But you don't have to mean it to get a card sometimes.
Appears now Dane Kelly will give way to Andre Lewis, one of the Vancouver loanees. As Coach Anhauser trying to pull out all the stops here. Tyler Turner will trot back. So also Dante Marini will come in for Taylor Mueller. So more of an offensive player coming in. Marini, the native of Pennsylvania, who's just a rookie. So he was playing at Northeastern and Reading United last year in the PDL. And Lewis, native of Spanish Town, Jamaica, and a member of the U20 Jamaican national team.
There's quite some pedigree out there, Jeff.
So vastly different starting 11s now than we had when we started for each side.
Well, you got deep benches, you got to use them.
They don't help you if they're sitting on the bench the whole time, right?
Well, you know, sometimes you got to shake some things up, and in the case of Orlando,
it worked.
It has worked. Well, I think the three players have come in. I mean, you've seen Dennis Chin get involved, of course, Brian Spann with the goal, and Adam Mbenge. They've helped to liven up these proceedings.
Flicked on a header there by Chin. We'll come back to Miguel Gallardo. I'll just drill it. Big win by Dennis. And eventually comes back to Charleston on the left side. They've got 13 minutes to find an equalizer. Spray it to the near side out. Throw in Orlando City. Too far for Griffith. That one actually all the way went into the stands past the Charleston bench.
Well, we'll look at formationally what Coach Mike Anhauser is going to draw up, because clearly you're not going to sit back. You can't sit back now. Not with, 12 minutes and change, give or take some stoppage time.
Wilson still in there, still giving it his all. Big battle and able to earn the free kick. Tyler Turner didn't win that battle.
Well, turf monster.
Andre Lewis, and gets right back on the ball. Here comes the turn. Now Molino tries to play it through, just too far out in front as Chin was in the vicinity.
Looking to slide more players behind. They're looking for those through balls.
Got to get numbers back now. Looking to cross. Miguel Gallardo off his line. Slides in to save it. He'll distribute out to the left. And Benge has the overlap. Chooses to take it himself. Tough ball. Charleston takes it over. 80th minute, 1-0 Orlando City. Held up and then taken away by Molino.
Yeah, you see a lot more bodies starting to get forward now for Charleston. You just wonder, is that gonna create something at the other end for Orlando? You hear Coach Adrian Heath yelling at either Adama Benge or Dennis Chin to get over. It's very animated.
Alvarez, heavy touch by Sarin, and he's fouled in the process. So Brian Spann comes off the bench to score in the 73rd on a ball that skated right on through past two Orlando City players.
Welcome to Orlando. Welcome to Orlando, Brian Spann. You know, that's probably the second time in as many weeks for Corey Herzog that he's gone to the bench, watch players come on and score. He's got to be thinking, what gives?
He's certainly given the lion's share of the effort.
Oh, you cannot fault that man, because he works his socks off.
Work rate is off the charts. Sent in for Mbenge. Got a foot on it and then drills it into the crowd. Goal kick for Charleston. Fans, every USL Pro regular season and playoff game this season will stream live on YouTube. Features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity. You can subscribe for free to the Orlando City SC YouTube channel tonight. So if you're watching this, you're already there. Now a shot goes across. Cooper makes the save. Had to go low to get it.
Don't think he caught that one with everything he wanted.
Well, this will not go down in history as the best played game by either side. If you're Orlando, you'll take the result if it can hold the next 9 minutes and change.
It's not traditional art, it's abstract art. You have to really look at it and study it.
Gotta like turn your head a little bit
and find the beauty in it.
Stand on your head, perhaps. And all out in front, and Valentino clears it off. 82nd minute.
They're not all Picassos, Jeff.
Here's Wilson. There's some space to work. Touch goes out for a corner because it went off of Tyler Turner. First corner of the second half for Charleston will be taken by Michael Chang, former Cuban international. Bright blue boots, sends it away. A flick on header is just off the mark.
Well, we're not
to the right.
Not quite sure. It looked really close from our perspective, but I think it went a little bit wide. I think he got his head up there, but I think it went quite a little bit wide.
Again, our perspective is inside a booth, about, I don't know, 50 yards away from the field. So on site, but really not sideline. We do have palatial digs here, though.
Beautiful.
The broadcast booth fit for kings. We're not worthy.
Where are they?
Meanwhile, Andrew Bell for Charleston calling the game on radio, the longtime voice of the Battery. He is up in the press box perch.
He's up in the
probably losing his voice trying to outduel the Orlando City fan support. We're having a nice quiet evening here, sipping tea.
Two extremes.
Ball all the way through. Gallardo will retrieve as Orlando City looks to salt away the last 7 or 8 minutes of this one.
And Miguel's going to milk that one for all it's worth. He's not going to pick that up. He will pick up no ball before it's time.
Charleston back home next Friday against the New York Red Bulls reserves. And then on the road for 4 against Pittsburgh, Rochester, Harrisburg, and Dayton. Oof. As they enter May. Orlando City on the road for the FC Dallas reserves and the Oklahoma City Energy, the expansion team. Here's Bowden. Now Mbenge out to Sarin. Orlando City playing possession. They make the switch. Turner's going to have to run. Able to catch up.
Don't get caught in possession there, Jeff. That's the last thing you want.
Alvarez held that probably a little too long for Adrian Heath's liking.
Held a little too long for most people's liking. You do not want to get dispossessed in the middle of the park with someone going to your goal.
Alvarez to Mbenge, who's always looking to go forward. Unable to do so. Molino runs on. If anything, it wastes some time.
Well, still a little time. I'd expect to have 3 to 4 minutes of stoppage time, at least.
Nice head by Valentino. He's played a great game, he and Russin tonight, as Orlando City leads it 1-0.
Yeah, by and large, they've really contained the Charleston attack in terms of from the run of play. Of course, Charleston had some success off of restarts.
There's Mbenge. Now to Bowden with some real estate to work with. Crosses the halfway line. Chipped in towards the box, and offside was Dennis Chin.
Why can't you just put that flag down?
Sean Ferguson was with him, though.
You didn't. Why did you just not see that?
Hey, Tom, your prediction of multiple red cards in this one has yet to be proven accurate.
Well, there's still time.
Well, it certainly is. The way this game started, you just had a feeling it was going to go that way, but it certainly settled down a bit.
Well, as history has shown, it's produced several, and then the way that it got started with, you know, as you'd say, hands flying everywhere and people yelling and cards, and it was possibly headed that direction. There are some players on the pitch still on a yellow, so you never know, Jeff.
There has been an ejection in the last 3 games between these two.
So I wasn't totally crackers making that prediction. I didn't go one flew over the cuckoo's nest on that.
No, that's a safe bet. I would have taken that in Vegas. Be careful. Luke Bowden quickly gets rid of it. One touch.
I'm not wishing for it.
Luke lost it. And Adrian Heath did not agree with our assistant referee.
I think he's telling him where to go get ice cream after the game.
Griffith to throw. Touch by Quentin Griffith. Dama closes in. Marini now with a touch. As Orlando City looks to lock in defensively. Flick on header by Sarin. Again, real disjointed play now. Rearing its ugly head again. And now Dennis Chin goes down.
Well, it's a clean challenge was in front of him. But yeah, I mean, tackles are flying everywhere, and sometimes that makes it difficult to put it down and play the beautiful game, if you will.
Hear the confident chant now of the supporter section. That ball played through. Chin is on to the left foot. Shot off. Big save by Cooper. Able to recollect. Now Adama from distance puts it just off the post.
Well, he's got some kind of voodoo charm on both those posts.
And Griffith was there to keep it off the line.
Adama, that thing comes off of Disnell Cooper.
Oh, yeah, it was all Griffith there.
And then off Griffith onto the post, because it did get by Disnell Cooper. I'm telling you, he needs to kiss both posts. Both posts have been his friend tonight. If not for that, could have been 2-1 City.
Dennis Chin helped make that chance happen by keeping on the ball. And now Adama, Mr. Mbenge with the left foot. Looking for some insurance. That went into the box. Looking for Dennis Chin, and we'll do it again.
Well, more corners, taking a little bit more time off the clock here. And I'm sure they'll be in no great hurry. They'll make sure that this one's set up exactly like they worked on it at training. Everybody has to be in the right spot before this ball is going to get played.
In our 90th minute, another corner. And effort by Sarin could have been better.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
A little too excited on that one. Hey, make sure you join us Wednesday, April 30th at 7:30 here at ESPN Wide World of Sports as the Orlando City Lions will host the Tampa Bay Rowdies for the first leg of the second I-4 Derby. Hope to see you here at ESPN Wide World of Sports for that one. Our next league match will be against the OKC, Oklahoma City Energy, on the 4th of May.
That's the bread and butter, Jeff.
Jimmy Nielsen's new team, the head coach.
You know, for any team, your league is your bread and butter, Jeff. That's what you focus on. It's what you want to win. So for all these teams, it's 3 points in the league is what they're after.
Just 2 minutes of added time here. Charleston, expect them to bring the numbers forward now. And that will take up a good 15-20 seconds as Cooper will have to retrieve the long ball.
Only 2 minutes. The referee says, I want to get out of here. It's approaching about a minute left to play, Jeff. If I'm Charleston, you're going to have to get bodies forward. You're going to have to get that ball into the box and see what kind of trouble you can cause.
Molino will hold it in. He and Falvey come together. Seen a lot of these red cards in this series come late in matches. That one sent high in the air off of Charleston. So throw in for Orlando City, and Luke Bowden will take his time coming up. 45 seconds remaining in this one. A corner for Orlando City now.
That should just about do it, Jeff, I think. Probably play it short, try and hold it in the corner, I would imagine.
I'll credit both goalkeepers in this one. Very, very well played game from their perspective.
Yeah, I mean, Miguel Gallardo, not a ton to do, but definitely out there when called upon. And a Disnell Cooper with a couple good saves, and a couple times the post has gone to give him some help.
Cooper has had a lot more work,
and each goalkeeper has had a player behind him to clear one off the line for him. So, you know, they might.
Somebody's going out to dinner on the keepers tonight. We've played over 2 minutes of the stoppage time, so any moment.
Probably next touch of the ball.
Caleb Mendez checks his watch. Hands in the air, the whistle blown, and this one goes to the Pride of Lions, 1-0 over the Charleston Battery.
Nothing sweeter than 3 points at home, Jeff, no matter how it comes. Like I said, Might not be a Picasso. It's a piece of abstract art. You got to find the beauty in it, and the beauty's in the 3 points.
Had 3 goals and 3 points last week. This time the 1 goal leads to the same result. Orlando City now 8 points on the season. They improved to 2-0-2. First loss of the season for the Battery here on the road for the first time, as they drop to 0-1-2. Again, they go back home for a game against New York Red Bulls reserves next week. Well played game by each side, albeit kind of disjointed most of the night. Here's what the stat sheet looked like, and it was dominated as far as shots go by Orlando City.
Well, I said I wanted to see more shots, and boy, did we. I mean, take a look at that. I think 36 shots in total. 17 of those find their way to the target. Of course, heavily dominated to Orlando, 27 to 9, 13 to 4. Corners well dominated to Orlando, 9 to 4. But look at the fouls. You could, like I said, that shows you it was a committed, hard affair. Right there, 13 fouls in the game. And Odisnell Cooper, a busy day, having to make 12 saves. But it all ends up to one important number, the one on the scoreboard, 1-0 Orlando.
Back-to-back wins on this homestand for Orlando City. They hit the road now. But tonight, a big win over their rivals from Charleston Battery. They get the full 3 points. For my partner, Tom Traxler, our broadcast coordinator, Austin Hiddle, and our entire talented ESPN crew, I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long from the ESPN Wide World of Sports. Orlando City, a 1-0 winner. Good night.